guys, Dave the On Station here. We are going to talk about the bare essentials list you need to get started in PRS shooting. I'm relatively new to this. I've shot, let's see, like 4 or 5 matches so far. I've gotten to the range quite a bit, as you've seen in some previous videos, but I'm pretty new to the competition world. But basically, what you need to get started, it's not a whole lot. You got to put a little bit of money down just into your rifle and stuff, but we'll talk about that in just a second. But as far as the gear and stuff, we'll go over that. But if you don't have anything, most people at these matches and stuff are more than willing to let you borrow or test out or try their gear, especially during the actual stages. But if you're not familiar, PRS is Precision Rifle Series. They are kind of long distance shooting matches that are throughout the country. There's different regions and stuff that you don't really care about if you're just getting started. But basically, you can get ranked nationally and shoot. You have to qualify for different matches and stuff. But there's like all of these ones that are I'm shooting in a couple days here. They're just kind of anybody can go to them. You pay like $20 and you got a whole day at the range. If you're not trying to place or anything, you can go out and just have access to these ranges that are 800 to 1,000 yards or so. But let's get into it. So first off, you need a rifle. You don't need anything crazy. Lots of people are running these super expensive rifles that are $3,000 just for the rifle, $2,000 on the optic. They're running suppressed. They've changed out the trigger. They've got it trued and kind of blueprinted. All this crazy stuff on there. This is what you need. You need a rifle that shoots about 0.75 to 1 minute of angle. You need an optic that is relatively clear and has exposed windage and elevation turrets. You need a good set of rings and some sort of muzzle device. This particular rifle here is a Bergara B14 HMR. I've obviously painted this, but as far as the rifle and internals and stuff go, this is all completely stock as it came from the factory. The B14 HMR is an awesome starting rifle, just due to the fact that it has a sub-minute MOA guarantee from the factory. It retails in at under $1,000, and it's pretty much that these barrels are known for longevity as well as accuracy from the factory. Past the rifle, we talked a little bit about the optic. Primarily, most people use first focal plane optics. I've been able to get away with second focal plane, mostly because I kind of grew up not shooting at max power or shooting at one magnification, and that's about it. Whether I'm shooting at 100 yards or 1,000 yards, I'm pretty comfortable shooting at 15 to 18 power. And with this particular optic, the dope is all correct at 15 power due to it being second focal plane. So if that's something you're able to do, do it. If not, a first focal plane optic is going to be a little bit easier to use. You're also going to need a chamber flag. These are about $3 on any of the kind of websites that you buy shooting gear from. Sometimes they give them out at matches or have them available for sale, but that is a must. You have to have one of those to even kind of take your rifle out of the case on the range when you go to these matches. So moving forward from there, you're going to need a bipod of some sorts. I would not suggest getting some sort of Cadwell bipod or $20 Amazon one. Get something that is pretty well respected, that is not going to fail, and has adjustable leg height. This is a Harris bipod. I think 6 to 9 inch adjustable legs. That's worked for me forever. I just took this off one of my old rifles and put it on this one, and I haven't had any problems with it. From there, you're going to need some sort of muzzle device. I'm choosing to run it suppressed. I know lots of people do that, but some sort of muzzle device is going to help you mitigate that recoil and make those second follow-up shots a lot faster. There is a little bit of a risk running suppressed. That mirage can kind of distort your sight picture. The recoil impulse on these rifles that are suppressed is a little bit longer, so it can add a little bit more time, but comfort for the shooter is a little bit different. And by the way, I'm shooting 308. I'm not shooting any of these crazy calibers, you know, like 6.5 Creedmoor, 6mm Dasher, 224 Valk. You know, I'm not shooting anything crazy. This is all just, you know, 308, you know, kind of a standard, you know, hunting rifle almost. But that's about it for the rifle. You know, lots of people will say you should upgrade your trigger. You should, you know, get all of this, you know, PRS, or I'm sorry, an Atlas bipod. You need, you know, a giant muzzle brake. You need a full chassis system. You need the best optic. You need all this crap. No, you just need a rifle that's able to shoot under a minute of angle. Kind of going along with the rifle, you are going to need to purchase, you know, at least a magazine that runs or that holds at least 10 rounds. This particular rifle came with a 5-round Magpul AI mag, but most of the stages are between 10 and 12 rounds. So I just picked up an extra AI patterned mag for, you know, like $30 or something, and then my backup is going to be the 5-rounder if I need to, you know, or if there's a stage where you're allowed extra shots, or if it's more targets or something. It's not too hard to slap in another magazine. A rear bag is really important. There's tons and tons and tons of options out there. This happens just to be some cheap one I picked up for a few bucks at like a garage sale. But you know, you need something at the rear to support your rifle and make these shots a little bit more precise. Lots of people are running Armageddon gear, game changers, or mini game changers, pint size, whatever. You just need something at the back. You don't need these giant pump pillows. You don't need any of this crazy, you know, super expensive bags. This was like $5. It's always a good idea to carry just an extra couple of rounds and stuff in the event that, you know, you take more rounds than to complete a stage than what it says, or if you dropped your rifle, need to re-zero it. Sometimes at these ranges they'll allow you to shoot, you know, after all the match is done. They'll allow you to shoot, you know, just for fun and stuff. So I always like to bring a couple extra rounds, just, you know, in case I want to, or if I need to take care of something. The next thing, this isn't 100% necessary. At these matches there's going to be tons of guys there, and almost every single one of them is going to have one of these. This is a spotting scope. Now, you don't need anything super crazy. You know, you don't need like, you know, $1,000 spotting scope. If you have the budget for it, by all means. You know, it's not going to make you a better shooter though. It's going to make spotting targets and you know, getting ranges and stuff a little bit easier, but for the most part at matches, you know, that's all known information. So this is just a Redfield spotting scope, about $200 or something. You know, it's pretty clear. It goes up to like 40 power or something. You know, I haven't had any problems with it. It came with this little kind of prone position bipod. I also, you know, run my bipod on a full-size kind of camera style tripod, so you know, that's not a super big deal, but most people, like I said, are going to have, you know, rangefinders, they're going to have spotting scopes, they're going to have, you know, in a lot of cases, they're going to have a lot of very expensive ones that are better than the equipment that you're going to have just starting in this. So next thing is going to be, you know, some eye protection. Sunglasses are not a bad idea. Make sure they're ballistic rated. You know, you've got, kind of you need shooting glasses when you're shooting in a competition setting. Past that, you need a dope book. Dope is going to be one of the most important aspects to the Precision Rifle Series shooting. You're going to need to know how your particular rifle is going to shoot at various distances. You can put them into ballistic calculators, and that kind of stuff, and that's usually pretty close, but there's nothing better than, you know, building accurate dope on your rifle with the specific ammunition you're using, you know, and getting, you know, building all that information and putting it in a previous, or a book of data on previous engagements. So there's that. Along with that, you know, if you don't have anything, or if you don't have it built up, you know, those apps are pretty good. I use Straylock. There's a couple different, Applied Ballistics has an app. They're all pretty close, but if you don't chronograph the ammo that you're using and then kind of record it in a book, you know, it's going to be a little bit off. Usually it's pretty good though. Next thing, ears. Ears are, you know, a no-brainer. I like bringing a bucket hat or a boonie cap or something, especially when you're shooting in kind of a prone position. You know, it keeps that sun off your neck, keeps you from getting sunburned, that kind of stuff. And the last thing really is ammo. I shoot factory ammo right now. I'm still in the process of load development, but basically, you know, if you get some good match-grade ammunition, you're not going to have any problems really. Lots of people are running hand loads and are making a big fuss about, you know, oh, factory ammo is so inconsistent and whatnot, but you know, at 800 yards, my factory ammo is going to perform pretty much as well as your hand load that you spent, you know, years developing. So, you know, I like factory ammo. I'm shooting 168 grain Sierra Match Kings from Federal, and I haven't had any issues with them. You know, even with this factory ammo, I'm still getting regularly, you know, 0.75 down to, you know, almost a quarter minute sometimes. It just kind of depends on the day, and you know, if the stars are aligned and stuff for me. But that's about it, guys. As you saw, there's not a whole lot of you know, equipment that you need, and if there is something that you're missing, you know, I wouldn't make too big of a deal out of it. Most people are going to be able to lend you gear, let you try it. Some things that I found when I was just kind of starting out in this, like I said, I'm still relatively new, but in my experience, people are more than willing to give you some tips, show you how these matches run, and usually somebody will kind of take you under their wing in a sense, as far as, you know, kind of explain how everything works and the best way to set up a stage and you know, course study and that kind of stuff. But there's I could do a whole nother video on how to read a stage or you know, what the best strategy is and stuff. But basically, for new shooters out there, just go out and do it. Things to keep in mind are going to be, it's better to have a longer hit than a short miss, and that's in relation to time. Most of these stages you have to get, you know, your 10 rounds off in, you know, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, whatever. So take your time and make those hits rather than just flying through your rounds and missing all of them. I think that about does it. I will post another video in the next couple days here when I shoot this match, and then, you know, hopefully you guys get a little bit of an understanding of what is involved in shooting a PRS match, and if this is something that you want to do. If you thought this video was cool, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.